Oh, record is on. So first your name.
My name is Steve Sorkin. I'm from California in the United States.
Wow.
I've been to Dalat. I've lived here for 7 years. I'm retired, and I teach English on the side. Although when I was going to school and working, I was a social worker, and I worked in mental health. And then I retired in 2012, and I moved to Ecuador for 3 years. And from Ecuador, came here. And I was here during the war, not in Dalat, but I was in other areas in Vietnam. And I was 19 years old at the time. And I saw a lot of stuff here that made a tremendous impression on me. And I thought that if I survived the conflict, I would come back here and give a little bit back to the Vietnamese. And I did, and I came back home, and I soon forgot about Vietnam for a while. And then when I went to Ecuador, I started thinking about Vietnam again, and came back over here, and I've never been happier.
So you were a soldier in the Vietnam War?
I was in the Navy.
Navy.
The Navy, yeah. So I had a different perspective than a lot of guys who were on the ground as soldiers.
Okay.
So, but I saw a lot of stuff, and it made an impression on me, and I'm very happy to be back here now. And in fact, I've never been happier.
Yeah. And how's life as an expat in Dalat?
Well, I think it's. I can't speak for everybody, but for me, it's very, very good. The people here have been very, very friendly. No animosity, no anger, no hate, none of that stuff related to Americans being in a war, for example. It's long gone, it's past, it's history. I would think the Vietnamese would have a lot of animosity towards the French and the Japanese.
Okay.
The French were trying to colonize this country. They were not exactly good neighbors, let's put it that way. They treated the Vietnamese like second and third class citizens. Really horrible. You know, so.
I think as the Britain did for Indian people as well. So that's like colonizing, you know.
Sure, yeah. But this is an amazing country. It's several thousand years old. It's got a lot of history.
Yes.
The people, I like this environment. My friends don't understand it. My American friends, especially those that were in the military.
Yes.
But it's a simplistic environment, and I find people here in Vietnam to be very, very spiritual. Very spiritual. They're shy initially, so when you're walking down the street, they may not look at you, or they may look down on the ground, but if they give you eye contact and they have a straight face and you smile, they'll give you a very big, big smile. They'll be your friend.
Yeah.
They're very, very unique and I think lovely people, in my opinion.
You have? Do you have any Vietnamese friends also?
I have a lot of Vietnamese friends. In fact, most of my friends are Vietnamese. And I'm very fortunate because they speak English.
Okay.
And I think that's one of the things that really impresses me about this country is when if you are walking around by the lake, for example, you go to Hanoi or Saigon and you're walking around and you sit at a park bench, you will have students come to you and they'll want to speak to you in English.
Okay.
Not Deutsch, but,
for sure.
but English.
Yeah.
And when that first happened to me many years ago, I left a very strong impression.
Yes.
They have a voracious appetite to learn, and now every child must learn English beginning in their kindergarten schools. Grammar, conversation, and that's one reason why I have 18 students right now teaching English here, online, Language Center. I even teach overseas, Switzerland and Thailand as well over there, and it's amazing. And that's one reason why I believe that this country, within about 20 years, I believe will be another South Korea 2.0. That's my opinion, just based on what I've seen, observed, how they work and study. The kids here go to school 6 days a week, and they also have extracurricular activities beyond. After school, they go to more study. They study more math, more science, more English after school, and it's made quite an impression on me. They're really trying to catch up.
Yeah.
It depends a lot on the government and how the government responds to this.
Sure.
The education is traveling overseas, and the more Vietnamese that are able to travel overseas, they will learn a lot. And then those that decide that they want to go into government, maybe with that impression that they have of traveling overseas will make enough of an impression for them to want to make a little bit of changes for how things are running here in Vietnam.
Yeah.
But I love it here. It's been for me the best experience I've ever had. I'm still learning about the culture. I have a lot to learn, about. As for the question regarding the other expats that live here, most of the expats that live here, most Westerners, Americans, Germans, they're more Swiss, British, Australians. They are married to Vietnamese girls. That's why they're here. There are some entrepreneurs that work here. I have some Australian friends who own some businesses here on it, but most of the foreigners that do live here all the time are married to Vietnamese women.
Ah, okay.
So it's and I haven't heard anything negative from the people that I've met, expats that I've met, and it's just from my perspective, it's a very unique place to live. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. And I will not move back to the United States.
Oh, okay. Where are you from? From the
California.
Which city?
L.A. Los
LA.
Angeles, yeah.
So.
Originally, but I know.
It's very different city to here.
Yeah. I mean, but I've lived all over the country in the U.S. and my immediate family, my brother and his family live in New Zealand.
Okay.
They have citizenship over there. So
Yes.
I focus on that part. I have some cousins who live in Washington State. But if I go back to the States, it's to see my friends and my relatives. That's about it.
Okay.
No desire to move back there whatsoever. If I could stay here, it would be nice. But the visa issue is always a challenge.
Okay. How is it? Do you still have your American citizenship?
Yeah.
And how is it with the visa policies?
For Americans, it's not that bad. I mean, we before COVID, we had a 1-year tourist visa. We had 1 year. During and after COVID, things have changed a bit, but I have a 1-year business visa right now. But they may change it again. They change it constantly, at least for Americans, because in America, Vietnamese can come on a 1-year visa to America. So the government of Vietnam had been reciprocating with that for Americans up until COVID.
Yes.
Things got sideways, like everything else on that. So that's pretty much about it, on that. But any of your friends who are seeing this video, I would really encourage them to come out here, just explore, have an open mind.
Vietnam as well as Dalat, I think.
Yeah.
Very nice. Dalat is I would say, so I'm just here the second day, but I would say it's completely different to other parts, and also see a little bit more native sites,
Yeah, it's very different. It's in a high, it's about close to 2,000 meters in elevation.
Yes.
And the temperature here is unlike any part of Vietnam. It doesn't snow. We do get a typhoon every once in a while, once a year, but
Oh, okay.
not directly here. It's usually in Da Nang or Hoi An, and we get the tail end of it.
Oh, okay.
Usually in August or September, and during that time it will rain like 3 or 4 days straight.
Wow.
But you know, it's okay. I mean, people adjust. People are very resilient.
So you don't have like a proper winter season. It's more like rain and dry season.
Sorry?
You don't have a winter season. It's more like dry and rain season in this part.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, even during our dry season, which is from around mid-December until May, we still get rain, but not like this time of year. We have our monsoon season right now, and it starts from May and goes until around December. And during that time, it rains practically every day. Again, sometimes hard, sometimes light, sometimes for hours, sometimes for a few minutes. But it rains. Everything is so green and lush. We never have to worry about any forest fires, anything like that.
That's true. And how's your when I can ask about your income and what you have to pay for rent and stuff like that?
It varies. It depends on the location, the owners of the place, the building. This building right here is part of what they call a homestay. Homestay, which is a little bit above a hostel.
Okay.
Okay. Over to your right over this area is part of the homestay, and
just show your kitchen.
Yeah, the kitchen's not much to see. We don't have an oven like you do back home.
Very basic. Yeah.
You have a gas cylinder and 2 gas ranges there, and when the gas runs out, I got to get a new gas cylinder. But I'm paying for this particular unit. I'm paying about $320 USD a month, and that includes all the utilities, electric, water. It includes cable, TV, internet, Wi-Fi, everything on that. So it's pretty good, and I know that I've known the family who owns this place for quite a while, and they've raised my rent once in the 7 years I've been here. But it's very, very economical for me. But if you go somewhere else in town, one of my American friends, who's also a teacher and retired, is paying twice as much as I am. It's a combination. They're very nice, you know, and he has a partner with him. But their accommodations are very, very nice. So it just depends. You go to Hanoi, you go down to Saigon, the cost of living, of course, is higher.
Sure.
In those cities, and you're going to pay more for housing. You cannot buy a house here unless you have a Vietnamese partner.
Okay.
No foreigners are allowed to purchase any property unless they have a Vietnamese partner, wife, husband, whatever.
Also business partner, or does it have to be a relative?
If it's a business partner, I'm not sure. It's a good question. That's a good question.
Maybe you put some research.
I don't think, because if the business partners, that person may have to be around for a while. Excuse me for a second. Starting to rain again. But,
rainy season.
But I'm not really sure about that. I don't think so. You know, I don't think so. A business partner would have to obviously be Vietnamese and have some residence somewhere in the country. But not perfect here. I mean, every country's got its issues. It's very safe in this country. Very, very safe. Yeah, there's some petty crime. You might get ripped off by a taxi cab driver. You know, you might give out some change to somebody, you get the wrong change out, look at it.
You will be overcharged sometimes, yeah.
Which is nothing untypical about that. If you have a bicycle and you leave it out, particularly in Saigon, it could be gone in a microsecond. Motorbikes too. You have to be careful with your motorbike if you own a motorbike in the larger cities. This city generally is safer than the large cities.
True.
But a woman can travel up and down Vietnam.
No problem at all. Do you have a motorbike?
No. Don't have a car or a motorbike. I use my feet for transportation, or I use a taxi. Usually it's called Grab. It's like an Uber, but cheaper than Uber. So I'll use that. So I'll be guaranteed to get from point A to point B the right way with a cost to that drive. So,
are there a lot of places where you can meet your friends, like foreigner places, like proper restaurants or stuff like that?
Yeah, a lot of different places. They have a lot of cafes here. This city produces a unique red wine called Dalat Red. They produce coffee, fruits and vegetables. They produce flowers. It's called the flower city. So they produce roses, for example, and 50% of the roses that they produce are exported to the United States.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
If you have the opportunity, get the time, they have tours here in town. They will take you to the production of flowers. You can see how they produce flowers.
Nice.
And they have cable cars over here that take you from one end of Dalat to the other end, which is quite nice. And if you have the opportunity to take the cable cars, you can ask the taxi cab driver cable cars.
Cable cars,
and once you get over there, it's in a parking garage. You can go up the stairs up there and get the tickets. But also in that area, in the parking garage, you have some real nice, cute cafes that overlooks the valley. One's called Anna's Cafe. If you get a chance, if you have the time, go there. You know, they have a lot of cafes, real nice, very nice cafes all over town. Very nice decorum. Coffee's really good. Tea's really good.
Very huge diversity. No Starbucks at all.
They don't have the Starbucks here. No, they got enough Starbucks in Saigon, in Hanoi.
In Saigon,
unfortunately. But they have mostly their own coffee, and it's good. It's good. If you like Vietnamese coffee, I don't because it's too strong for me, and then it takes a while for it to get in the cup the way they do it.
But it's just a little, you know. Just a little. It's like an espresso.
Give me a good Americano.
So the camera was shut down because of heat, but thanks again for the interview.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
And good luck with the English lessons.
Oh yeah, I've been doing it for 7 years.
Pretty good.
And I'm still learning. I'm not a professional teacher, but I'm learning. I'm continuing to learn. So it's really, really good. I'm happy about that.
And it's really good that you teach the people such an important language like English, because English is like world language. It's good for the people, especially for business and travel. You know?
Oh, absolutely. And that's why they're learning English, because they know it's going to be make them a lot of money in the future. They can travel overseas, they can go into business, international business.
They can make business with like Western countries or like other Asian countries.
Tour, they can do tour businesses and all that.
So, for tourism as well.
Absolutely.
That's really good. So. Thanks for the insights.
My pleasure.
And see you around.
All right, we will.
Thanks.
Ciao.